In a land not so different than our own, the Heartswell domain stands tall against the armies of darkness. Illuminated by a saintly individual, no darkness could pierce his light. Until the Great War, upheaval to the domain began, a battle between the forces of darkness and bringers of light. Amidst the battle, the brave, saintly individual thrusted into a dimensional portal, left to face a new world, alone.
Hey guys, this is lavaTHOR, and welcome back to lavaCRAFT Season 3. We have decided to start on a new project. I think I mentioned it in my last video. What's going on is that everyone on the server has decided to do this little mini game thing. We're calling it Summer Wars, where we're all going to take the month to make a sort of game or challenge at our base, and that we will go through and challenge each other at these games, and whoever can win every person's challenge or wins the most becomes the summer champion. Woo! I have, however, got a late start on mine. What I'm doing is taking my idea from, I believe, last season, 2 seasons ago, where I was making a dungeon. You could pick a class and you fight through a dungeon. So we're going to talk about the classes first, and then I'll show my work on the arena. So what I'm doing here is I've started already collecting all the gear for them. But I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 classes. So what you'll do is each person will go through and pick a class and get the gear. The other players won't know what you picked, so you have to try and guess or judge. But the classes are the Birch Knight, the Dark Oak Berserker, the Pale Oak Thief, the Oak Hunter, the Spruce Soldier, the Coral Mariner, the Warped Wizard, the Cherry Cleric, and the Crimson Alchemist. So each one's get a set of gear, and they use this to fight the other person in the arena. The thing is, everyone gets a leather cap that's recolored, they get some iron gear, and they get their specialty things and a little bit of food. I'll talk about the food formula last. So with the Birch Knight, they get an iron sword, which is decent, and a shield. One of the few ones that get a shield, so that was pretty good. The Dark Oak Berserker, they don't get a sword or shield, but they do get an iron axe, and they get a Strength 2 potion, which is really good. I think that's the one that only lasts like a minute and a half, but adds like extra 3 damage. So pop that and just kill people. Oh, I also forgot. The Birch Knight has protection 5 on one of the pieces of armor, and the Berserker has thorns 3. So everyone gets like at least one thing of enchantment. Some people don't though, so we'll just go through. The Pale Oak Thief, they also get an iron sword, but instead of the shield, they get a potion of swiftness 2. And they also have Featherfall 4 for those high jumps. The Hunter is a little more mixed. They have a bow. They have some spectral arrows. I think it's 32. Yeah, and they get a stack of full arrows. They also get a stone axe, so they can actually chop those shields away. They don't get an enchantment though, because they have an extra tool, I believe. Yeah, they have spectral arrows and an extra tool, but no enchantment. So that's kind of the downside of that. The Spruce Soldier has a crossbow. Woo! They have a stack of arrows, and then they have projectile protection 4. So very good for like anti-bow. If you fight another soldier or a hunter, that protection will really help out. If you're fighting anything else, it doesn't matter though. So there's some strategy involved. The Coral Mariner, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Trident is like one of the highest damage weapons unenchanted. And they're going to have loyalty 1 so they can throw it. It's going to be a little slow, but they can throw it. They're also getting Depth Strider 3. 3 the highest? I don't know. So any of the water areas, they can easily walk through and lose people. They also get a turtle helmet, so if they need to like dive and go through some underwater caves, I think I'm going to try and add 1 or 2. They can just survive that better. So very much water-based. Oh, they also get a potion of leaping too, so that'll help out a bunch too. The Warped Wizard's kind of a little more interesting. They have a Stone Sword with Fire Aspect 2. They have a Stone Sword with Knockback 2. They get, they get Frostwalker Boots, and they get Ender Pearls. So very, very utility based. that fire aspect, I think, can be pretty nasty. The Cherry Cleric, they have a stone sword, so not the highest DPS. They do get a shield. I love this little shield design I got too. Let me show you guys this. See if I can, yeah, there we go. Look how cool that looks. It looks better with the banner. If I put HD banners on shields, it'll look better, but I think it still came out good. When you put banners on shields, it kind of like makes it not as nice looking, but it is good. They get a lot of potions. They get a potion of regen 2, which is like the 1 minute 31. They get a potion of regen. Oh no, this is a potion of regen plus. This is a potion of regen 2. So this is like a lot stronger but lasts less. Well, this one just lasts longer. Let's see. They get an potion of instant health 2. And they get fire protection 4, which I think the only thing that's fire is the sword. And then I'm going to have maybe some environmental stuff. So they fall in lava or fire, they'll be a little more safe. But really just very specialized. And last but not least, which Serge has said is the strongest, is the Crimson Alchemist. They get a single stone sword. They get a bunch of potions. So they do get 2 chorus fruit. I'm going to have to really teleport proof my arena, make sure they can't leave the arena accidentally. But they get a potion of poison. I think this is the stronger one. Yeah, potion of poison plus. They get a potion of weakness. Again, I think this is the stronger one. Potion of slowness 4. They get 3 potions of damage. These are just the level 1 ones. I was talking to Serge, and he was saying potion of damage 2 is just OP. You could just drop all 3 and instantly kill someone. So, little more balance. They also get a level 1 chant of each. They get protection 1, projectile protection 1, fire protection 1. So you're kind of a little bit good against everything. And that's all the classes. And one thing about the classes is I'm going to have a set amount of gear. So you'll take like this. You'll come through and take this, or I'll set up droppers so you hit a button. We'll see if I can get that working. But once that class runs out and people want to come through and do the challenge again, you can't pick that class anymore. So the good ones might go first. But yeah, that's the classes. I think they're pretty good. Let me know what you think is the best one. Which one would you pick? I'm partial to the Coral Mariner a little bit because of the throwing trident. But I also really like the soldier. I just love crossbows, even though they're not that good in the game. Honestly, unenchanted crossbow versus unenchanted bow. The crossbow's slower, but does a lot more damage. So that's pretty nice. Oh, I forgot I was going to talk about the food. So I just was giving everyone originally 8 pieces of food. So he'd get 8 bread, he'd get 8 golden carrots, he'd get 8. But then I realized that like some food is just way better than others. So I made a food formula. What I did was each piece of food can restore a certain amount of meat chunks and also gives you saturation. For those that know, saturation is a hidden thing. Here I have a data pack thing on that shows a hidden thing where you will go that long before your meat chunks start reducing down. It's like how long you go till you start getting hungry again. So if your saturation is full, you'll take longer before like it goes down. So like the saturation goes down first, and then the meat chunks or your hunger goes down second. And so I've added that up. So hunger plus saturation equals its food score. So a golden carrot has 2 hunger, but 7.5 saturation, giving it a score of 10.5. I'm giving him 2 golden carrots, so he has a food score of 21, but he's also getting 2 coarse fruit for 7, so he's getting about 28 points of food. And I've tried to make everyone between like 25 and 30. Kind of reduce it down. So this guy he is the highest just because it doesn't work out perfectly every time. 3 cooked pork chops for 31.5. We have 4 cooked salmon for 30. 5 baked potatoes for 27.5. Rabbit, same. Bread, same. 4 cooked mutton for 30. And 4 cooked chicken for 26. I think this is the lowest one. But yeah, I think that balances out more evenly. I think the classes are pretty good. I've had Serge and Chad help out with a couple of suggestions on them. But let me know what you guys think. If you think any of them are too good or one of them is just garbage and no one should ever take it. Okay, let's head down to the basement where I have started working on the arena. The arena is going to be I think it's 4 chunks by 4 chunks area, and I'm going to do it in 4 sections. And my idea for the sections is I want to have sort of like 2 overworld ones, and then I want to do a nether area and an end area. So we'll start with this area first. This is the one I've done. I don't have the other 3 areas, so we're just going to showcase the first one, and it's not finalized yet. But this is the mines, and I really like it so far. Let me just kind of run through it real quick. Let me just do a quick overview. So the ceiling's not done. I got to do detail work on the ceiling. If you notice, like a lot of these I'm doing staircase, buttons, slabs to kind of give them more of a rocky, sharp edge. I haven't done that on, see, like that. That's just so blocky. So, but like over there, look, that's a little bit better. But yeah, so what I want for the mines is I want it to feel a little enclosed with it still being open and kind of trying to support all the parts of the different classes, you know, parts for jumping, parts for water, this and that, you know. And so we first have kind of the camp area or the storage area where, you know, the miners are coming and smelting and storing stuff. It's a little like falling apart, and like the ladder here is half broken, so you can't climb up it, and things are just kind of in disarray a little bit. One nice thing is there's a spot up there you can get to it without ladder. So for example, like if you just come over here and climb up, you can get up here. There's 2 other spots you can get up. You can climb up on that thing or over there. So there's multiple ways to get up. So you can come up here, and if you're like one of the sniper guys, like an archer, you can try and get a good sniping spot up here just to take people out. If someone does chase after you, you're like, oh no, I gotta get out of here, and he's like coming up, you can come back here and try and like lose him, or even like wait for him and axe him or something, and it comes back around over here. What hit me? I took damage there. Is there a zombie in the wall or something? That was so weird. Did I just fall far? Why did I take damage from that? That is the most bizarre thing ever. Anyways, moving on. It doesn't matter. There is this thing here, so you could fall down as well. But yeah, and then there's a little cave over here. Just this little cave. Nothing really big or important here, but there is another spot over there. Over here we have the dried out well. There's a little water spot down here. But I feel like people could get like stuck or hide in that or whatever. And then we do have a little mine cart area with rails and some stone torches. Make it a little ominous. Maybe you can come over here and hide and like see if you could like get him on the surprise. Will be the exit from this area. It'll connect to this biome I'm working on. Ignore all that. It is a work in production. I have not finished it, so I'm thinking of making it like a mushroom, like an underground lake with some mushrooms. But I'll showcase that another time. My favorite area of this is the crystal part with the amethyst, calcite, and basalt. There's even a little bit of water here, which I think is fantastic. So if you are the depth strider, you could, if someone's chasing after you, you're hurt, you could try and lose them through the water with depth strider. Or with the wizard, frostwalker, you could try and mess them up with the ice and then turn around and get him. And then, you know, obviously, one thing I've done is I've tried to make it so there are obvious paths. Like, this is an obvious path, you know, up here and over there. And then there's like the non-traditional paths too. Like, if you want to come over here and climb up this, there's plenty of spots to like climb and jump and get over here. So that's like a non-not path. A non-not path. That's what we're going to call it. Okay, and then look, there's a little crystal over here. I do like the ceiling one a lot. And then we have the mine, these, what is this called? Mine shaft? I guess this whole thing is a mine shaft, but the little like pathway spots. And there's a few ways to enter into this. We're going to enter in this level here, and then it goes down and it goes up. And obviously there's like ways you can jump off of it and stuff, but we'll go over here. Go to the down spot. So this spot does go to the next areas. This goes to the nether area. This goes to the mushroom area. Ignore those, they're not done. So we'll come down here, and there's another little entrance right here. So like, again, I want things to have multiple entrances. I don't want it to feel linear. You can go take multiple paths to avoid or try and sneak up on someone. We come down here, and there is this little iron mining area that the dwarves or hobbits or elves or whatever were mining out. And then you come over here a little bit higher up, and there's a little coal mining area. And you could try and hide in some of these. Try and get up in here and hide or whatever, you know. And then it comes out right over here, and there's like two, you know, little spots to get out. So another thing I've tried to do is make everything very, what I call landmarky. So it's very easy to tell, oh, this is the coal area, I know where they are. If I made them both iron, it would be kind of confusing which one you're at. You're like, oh, I'm at the north spot, or no, I'm at the, well, this is technically north. I'm at the north spot, or I'm at the south spot. You can pretty much go, oh, iron, I know where I am. I just need to go out this way. Or it's like, oh, the coal, I know which spot I'm at. Very landmarky. So if you know the map well enough, you can pretty much look at anything and know where you are. But let's continue on up. The up spot has, I think, a couple things too. Yeah, there's this one here that goes up, as well as the spot I just came through. And there are plenty of spots to like fall off and like get out and jump on people. Like the railways have broken away, and it's very easy to like get the jump on someone. So I think that's kind of neat. And obviously there's like secret ones too. Like you could even go like here, boop, there you go. Sneak up on someone. That'd be pretty funny. Let me get back up. Hold on. Wait just a second. Oof, ouch. Okay. Okay, let's go up to the top section. Again, this will go to the nether area. Ignore that. Again, mushroom and nether. We'll figure out what I want to connect that up. And then this one goes all the way up to here. They obviously stopped building it because they didn't want to destroy this really cool amethyst. Maybe it's part of their religion. I don't know. Lore. And it connects up. But again, you can like just jump off and attack people from multiple angles. Some of them don't. I didn't want one every single spot, but there are plenty of them. You know, you can like, chop and get them, you know. Let's see. I think that's basically it. There's a little bit of like spots over past it, but not a whole lot. Yeah, see like this, there's not much here. And then obviously there's this little area, there's a little water spot here. But like I said, I still gotta do the ceiling a little bit. I gotta do some stairs and slabs, but other than that, it's pretty much done for this area. I might go through, like I went through back and added these in. I might go through and do a little detail work. One thing I want to do is I wanted to make it all stone. I didn't want it like granite or diorite or andesite, because I wanted to give it a very just plain feel. So these other things would pop. You know, the wood would pop, the amethyst would pop, the sturgeon would pop out. And it's very just boring for the rest of it. So I think that works out pretty well, and it's very landmarky. And so the next thing is we're going to have to work on the mushroom area next. And the biggest thing is I got all the classes done. Let me actually head back up there and I'll tell you what I need to do next. I have all the stuff for the classes done besides recoloring a couple of leather helmets. These need to be brown, dark brown, I think. But I got everything done for the classes except for tridents. And I gotta do some tridents. So I think next episode we're gonna work on a drown farm to get tridents and the mushroom area. I think that's my goal for the next ones. But that's all I've been doing. This has taken a lot of time. The potions weren't as bad as I thought they're gonna be, because I just had to do, you know, they come in segments of 3, so getting 27 was pretty easy. For the leather helmets, I just had a villager trader give me a leather worker trade, and I just you know, took the color off. I have all the enchants. It's just getting levels to enchant was a lot of work. Like, oh my gosh, Thorns 3 took 12 levels per chest plate. So I'm just like, enchant, trade to get levels, enchant, trade to get levels, and it just took forever. Some of the food was a bit of work because I had to, like, you know, get sheep, get chickens. I have them out here. Let me guys show you some of these farms real quick. I cut them all down just a couple so they don't lag too bad. We're starting to get a lot of animals on the server, but over here I have a little turtle farm. Here, let me just free camera real quick. So I made a little turtle farm to get all the turtle helmets for the mariner, but then also I have rabbits, pigs, chickens, and sheep. Oh yeah, don't worry about the color of the sheep. And then obviously my normal little farms. Turtles are interesting. You guys notice that it's like a layer down. That's because turtles will sometimes climb on top of other turtles, and this makes them high enough they can actually climb over fences. Turtles can climb over fences, which is just crazy. So be careful with your turtle farms. Yeah, I think that's everything though. Like I said, we're gonna work on the mushroom area next, finish the ceiling off, and then also work on a drown farm. Just a simple industrial one just to get tons and tons of tridents. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.